Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Saskatchewan, you know SaskTel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With SaskTel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. SaskTel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sastel.com/sponsorships.
The roaring game. We all love it, but sometimes curling just isn't as fun as it can be on the Nintendo Switch. Don't get stuck in your curling club this year. Learn the game inside and out. Play for your favorite country and take the curling world by storm. With up to 4 players per console, you can enjoy curling with your friends and family anywhere, anytime. Let's play curling. Available now only on Nintendo Switch.
Hey, wake up.
We truly believe that this is an opportunity to partner within a sport that is emerging. It's getting stronger and stronger every year. And, the continued success of teams like yourselves really helps to elevate not only the sport, but also those companies that are involved with you.
We love being part of community events and community participation, everything from golf to hockey to curling to supporting teams like Team Flasch. It's right in our wheelhouse. And it's allowed us to grow our company significantly, which for positive reasons means we've got to grow our plant as well. So we are going into a large expansion on our current site, and we will be expanding the brewery's capacity, almost doubling it, and at the same time increasing our efficiency. So we'll be using less water, less energy to make the same great beer.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the IG Wealth Management Western Showdown live here on Curling Stadium. My name is Sean Joyce. We've got A-event action here. Colton Flasch facing off against Aaron Sluchinski. Two teams already underway. They had a pre-game practice and draw to the button for last rock here in the opening end of play. It is Flasch with the Yellowstones. And last rock here in the opening end. 5 rocks already down at the far end. It is Flasch sitting 2 right now and looking to draw open side. Won't be able to get third shot with this, but in order to make a play on the third shot stone, he'd have to group his stones more than he'd probably like to at this point in the end. Pardon me, I think it is the Sluchinski stone that's actually sitting second shot, but it's open. So drawing in to sit fourth. Aaron Sluchinski asking, this is the second man, Kerr Drummond, to play the run back. The lead on this team's Dylan Webster. Jeremy Hardy throws the third stones. Aaron Sluchinski is the skip. Makes the run and actually passes it by the Yellowstones and kills his own off the edge of the 4-footed. Now is Colton Flasch with last rock sitting 3. And a chance to draw a 4th one in. Kevin Marsh in the hacks. His brother Daniel is the lead. Callan Schneider throws the third stones. for skip Colton Flasch. They had a strong game in their opening game this morning, actually picked up 4 in the first end of that game. A chance to sit 4 here early in the first end of this. Winner of this game moves on to an A qualifier at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Chance to be one of the first 2 teams through to the playoffs. The loser drops down to the B event. 16 teams began play this morning here in Swift Current. Looking to be one of the 8 teams making the playoffs starting Sunday night. Aaron Sluchinski already here in the first end looking to bail out a little bit. Facing 4, he does have the one center guard. Looking once again to run it back. Jeremy Hardy, big weight. Everything in a line. He could get as many as 3 yellows moving on this. Catches 1, gets 3 moving. Will only get 2 of them out of the rings and rolls the shooter off to a corner guard. Colton Flasch going to look to come around the corner. Doesn't need to dead bury this. If he gets about half in behind cover, it'll actually provide some protection to those 2 stones on the back of the 8-foot as well. Catlin Schneider. Out turn draw, the Marsh brothers on the brush. A lot of room by the guard yet. For those of you who haven't been with us all day, we have seen big movement at the end on these stones, but you'd like to come a little tighter by the guard than that. He'll bring it in for third, but it is fully exposed, and with those back 2 stones being so close together, a possible triple there. Jeremy Hardy with his first stone. Playing a run back, got 3 yellow ones moving. A chance to move 3 more here with his second stone. They were on the brush on this one early, looking for some curl. Might have popped that just a little bit wide on the release. Makes contact with the first stone and spills it, but drives it by the 2 stones at the back of the rings. Loses his shooter as well. Another chance now for Catlin Schneider to make the come around. Again, the Marsh boys close, just waiting for this to curl. Waited as long as they could. Now have to make sure they get it into the rings. They're going to place that rock very well. He's got probably 2/3 to 3/4 behind cover. Does provide some protection on the yellow at the back, as you can see. Aaron Sluchinski. The option is there to play the thin double on the 2 back ones. You probably spin all the way across and maybe out of play. He's going to opt to play the run back. And again, there's a chance to get 3 yellows moving if you hit this right. On the brush early, both brushers down. Makes the hit, clips the second stone, but will just drive it across the rings out of play. Leaves the 2 at the back of the 8-foot still sitting shot in second, and his shooter has rolled over to cover what would be the second shot stone. Colton Flasch now looking to come around. And this is one where if he's about half around now, even just full 12-foot half around, probably protects the shot stone a little bit as well. That's the one farther back behind the tee line. You dead bury this, and it might be a case where Aaron Sluchinski has no choice left but on his last stone to try to draw down to the 2 yellow stones at the back of the 8. So you might only want to be about half buried here. Pressures have been on this one early. He's got room now. Brings it into the full 8-foot, and there you can see from that angle, he's got about half buried. Does provide some protection on the back, and still the only shot Aaron Sluchinski sees is the attempt to freeze down to that pocket. Hard to get to the pocket now. He might be able to get just to the face of the shot stone. It is still his best chance to cut down the end, but probably not the shot he'd like to be playing in the first end. And I mentioned earlier, Colton Flasch in his game this morning picked up 4 in the first end, and if Aaron Sluchinski can't make a good freeze here, you may see Colton Flasch put 4 more on the board here this evening. Big shot here for Sluchinski with his final stone in the first end. Without last rock, facing 3 Flasch counters. And this rock is really curling hard. They're going to have to go to get by the stone at the top of the 8-foot. It's just going to come up well short. Jeremy Hardy giving a last little bit of scrub just to get in as far as they can. Hope against hope that Colton Flasch can come up short of the rings here. It will be a draw for Colton Flasch, needing, well, full 12 would do it to pick up 4 points here in the first end. They had pressure on Sluchinski force him this entire end. One bit of a bad break on a run back where they killed their own stone. Prior to that, it was looking maybe like a deuce. Suddenly it was looking like a lot more, and they have not been able to make a double or triple to get out of it. Final stone here for Colton Flasch. Needs 8-foot, or pardon me, needs full 12-foot. Brusher's cleaning this in. That's usually a pretty good sign. Needed the 12-foot. He's going to put that right in the top 4, maybe nibbles the button. Put 4 points on the board for Colton Flasch here in the first end of play. They'll take a 4-0 lead over Aaron Sluchinski into the second.
Stronger agronomics, better returns, greater peace of mind. From pre-seed to post-harvest, you can count on the Victory Canola program to keep you and your farm ahead of the curve. Grow with us at victorycanola.com.
SaskTel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? SaskTel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
Welcome back. Second end underway. First stone to the end brought into the top of the button area. Sluchinski calls for the corner guard. Now Dan Marsh looking to come right in again. A big 4 points for Colton Flasch to start this game off. Now no need for guards immediately. He's going to play things into the house in the middle, knowing that Aaron Sluchinski is going to have to deal with those rocks eventually. Sluchinski opting to play the second corner guard. You may see Colton Flasch call for a center guard now that he's got two good stones in the forefoot to start this end off. Looked at possibly coming partway around that corner guard just to choke it off, but they are going to opt for the center guard. Kevin Marsh. With the out turn. See how well I can keep my turn straight this game. I had a left-hander on the last sheet I was calling. That always messes up the announcer. A nice tight guard there by Kevin Marsh. Aaron Sluchinski looking to run that back now. This is a chance to clean up the middle all with one shot. Kerr Drummond. Big weight, run back. Had a couple of chances at those in the first end, couldn't buy a break. This time makes the run, kills the two stones out of the forefoot, and the shooter rolls over into the 8. It is out from behind cover, though. Colton Flasch looking at which corner guard to peel. That's really the question here. Looking like they're opting for the high one on the side. Gives them the best chance probably for a double peel. Or at least the least risky chance for a double peel. Makes the hit. He's going to be a little thick on the first one. All the way across. Doesn't touch any of the other guards, and shooter rolls out of play. So just the two guards in play now, belonging to Sluchinski, and shot rock belonging to Colton Flasch in the 8-foot is open. Aaron's going to ask Kerr to come around the corner guard. Pressure's picked this one up early. Got a nice line. They haven't really left it. Now switching at the end for that last little bit of curl. Wants to bury as much as they can. Does not get shot rock, but that wasn't the important part there. They needed a rock that was buried. Colton considering the double peel. It's a little risk with the double peel playing it that way, because if you come across the top of the second one at all, you could push it in towards your shot stone. So I think they're opting to attempt the straight back run back, and if it overcurls and you just straight peel this card, that's okay too. He's very close. Have to wait to see where that rock ended up. That might have been a bit of a bad break to hit it that solidly and not get it out of the rings. I think it's still biting. It's close. It's really hard to tell from this camera angle. Won't be any easier from the overhead. Well, it does look like there's a lot of white there. Granted, the overhead camera is actually over the pinhole, not over top of the rock. But it does look like they got it out. Another chance, this time Jeremy Hardy trying to come around the corner guard. Now a Yellowstone. More room, a lot more room by the guard this time. They were sweeping actually just to get off their own center guard. And it's going to slide well to the back and all the way through the rings. Three stones left to come for each team. Probably a little late to worry about the corner guards at this point. Colton Flasch a chance to play the come around. Sit two, perhaps set up a force here or even a steal. Catlin Schneider, an outstanding run back with his first. Now we'll see with his second stone if he can dial it back for a nice touch come around. Looking to leave this nice and high in the rings, kind of Christmas tree it. You want to get a sliver underneath the guard and cover the inside of your own rock. That's probably about the best he could do. Hard for Aaron Sluchinski to roll under off of either one of those two Yellowstones. So he's going to ask Jeremy Hardy one more time to come around the corner guard. Again, if you're buried, you won't be shot rock. And I think that's the discussion coming from the other end. We're getting late in the end. If we don't get shot rock here, Colton Flasch might just throw a guard. Don't know if he would 4 up, but that's got to be the concern. Jeremy Hardy might have wanted to take a look at this run back as well. The run is there to make the double. The question is whether or not with the angle that everything is at, can you make the run double and perhaps roll the run back stone in behind the corner? Or if you're worried about the roll, does it just jam the second Yellowstone? It's going to be close. Mind you, if he gets something buried and he gets everything off the middle, even if he's only sitting second shot, that's not bad. Makes the hit. Across the top of the yellow a little bit. Does make contact with both yellows. Leaves the red in the open, but it is the only stone in the rings. Sluchinski sitting one. Wide open. Top 12. Colton Flasch going to have to make the hit, and he'll try to roll towards those two corner guards. Not sure if he'll want to be dead buried either. Dead buried Aaron Sluchinski probably just comes around it. Picked up the brush on this one right away. Certainly doesn't want to roll past the guards. Makes the hit, makes the roll, and does tuck about half under the guard. Aaron Sluchinski still going to play the come around, but at least now you've got him coming around a stone that's top 8. You might have to come a little bit deeper to bury, and if he comes behind the tee line, you can freeze and take the end away that way. There are some surfaces you could actually come around the wide side, and that might even be possible here, but it's so tough because there's such big late movement. So to get around the outside of a guard like that, you'd have to take a ton of ice. Well, Aaron Sluchinski struggling a little with his draw weight, was short in the first end. They've had to go all the way down on this one. They will get it into the 4-foot, but really never able to lift the brushes there to let it get started curling. It stays out mostly in the open. Some mild concern, I think, from the Flash team, and apologies, we don't have mics on these players, so always hard to know exactly what they're talking about. They're looking at the two rocks at the back, whether or not there's a jam possibility. Still, if you jammed on either one of those, the yellow at the top of the 12-foot would be shot rock, and I'm not sure how Aaron Sluchinski gets it out and keeps his shooter in play for two. So you make this stone go away. Probably got the force, although if you roll out, Aaron Sluchinski, very strong hitter, may opt to go for the blank there. He can't see a lot of that stone, but he can see more than he needs to play the blank. For Colton Flasch, if he can make the hit and keep his shooter anywhere in the rings, that definitely takes the blank out of play. Well, a little outward motion on his release there. It's going to stay there for a while. Starting to curl now. Room by his own. Makes the hit. Does catch one of those stones at the back, but still spills out of play, and Colton Flasch sits two. Aaron Sluchinski with his final stone, and it looks like they've opted to draw. Could hit that yellow stone that just rolled over to the edge of the 8-foot there as well, and would be pretty close to the same ice as he's taking here, but I thought I saw him indicate draw to the button. Tap the button just before he went down to the other end. This was his pregame draw to the button path. He didn't miss it by much, but Colton Flasch didn't miss it at all, so he had last rock here in the first end. Aaron Sluchinski now needing a bite of the 4-foot to pick up his single point here in the second end. And he'll put it on the button. Put 1 point on the board for Aaron Sluchinski. Colton Flasch with a 4-1 lead here after 2 ends of play.
The roaring game. We all love it, but sometimes curling just isn't as fun as it can be on the Nintendo Switch. Don't get stuck in your curling club this year. Learn the game inside and out. Play for your favorite country and take the curling world by storm. With up to 4 players per console, you can enjoy curling with your friends and family anywhere, anytime. Let's play curling. Available now only on Nintendo Switch.
Sean Joyce with you here live from Swift Current, the IG Wealth Management Western Showdown on the SaskTel Curling Stadium. Colton Flasch with a 4-1 lead here as we begin playing the third. He's got last rock as well. Sluchinski team threw up the center guard. Now, it is a very long center guard. I'm not sure if they meant to throw it quite that long this early in the game, but they do throw the second center now as well. A little bit tighter, but didn't manage to get them in line. Dan Marsh came around to the top of the forefoot with the second, or pardon me, with his first stone, now looking to follow it down with his second. Has a lot of room by the guard, so they're sweeping now for some extra curl. Brings it into the top of the 8-foot. Does look to be about edge to edge with the guard. Still, with the guard being that long, probably room to come right in Aaron Sluchinski feels and get to the face of shot stone through the port. Kind of looks like the long center guard's in the way of that port, but the way they curl at the end, you can get there. It's all going to be a question of the weight. Now, this is really moving towards the guard, and he might have been a little bit light again. Don't think that was ever making the rings. So pushes the guard slightly off the center line, rolls to a corner. Still that high guard now protecting the one tight to the rings. That's the one Colton Flasch is worried about. So going to play the peel on the higher guard. Might be able to come across and take the one that was just delivered as well. Kevin Marsh is in turn, makes the peel across the top of the other stone and shooter out of play. Sluchinski looking for the freeze again. Kerr Drummond a little light on his last attempt. Nice line on this one, but again, maybe just a little bit light. He comes up just shy of the rings this time. And maybe a little unfortunate with the placement because he managed to overlap those two rocks right at the end, and that makes this double peel almost hard to miss. Anywhere on the broom side of that rock, both reds go. Even hitting the first one that thin, picks up so much spin off the contact with the second one, easily goes out of play, loses the shooter as well. So it's Colton Flasch sitting 2 out in the open. The only guard, a corner guard, belonging to Sluchinski. Looking to make a play on shot stone, roll over. Not sure if they wanted to roll behind the yellow or all the way over behind the corner guard. Needs a little bit more curl to get any kind of roll. Now moving at the end. Looks like they were trying to get all the way around the corner guard, and they'll get about half in behind cover, but probably leaves room for Colton Flasch to get at it. Catlin Schneider, it looks like the call was for quiet weight, and they're going to try to stay right there. On the brush early on this one, has a corner guard. They've got to get by the guard. A little bit of early movement on that stone, and then really didn't move that big at the end. Gets a bit of a roll back in behind his own, partly in behind his own anyway. Does allow a chance for Sluchinski to get the nose hit double. And at least for the time being, get out of the potential deuce scenario. Jeremy Hardy, a little bit of an extension at the end on that. Comes up just enough at the end to catch the second stone, makes the double. So it's Sluchinski sitting one. Calvin Schneider going to see if he can't do something about that, play the hit and roll behind the corner. Callan's first stone made a bit of a move early, and then really didn't get quite as much finish as they were expecting. They're getting good finish here. Makes the hit. Will roll towards that corner guard, but stays out in the open. Aaron does have all of that rock available to make the hit, and there's some distance there between that guard and the house. There might be enough room to get a little bit of finish at the end and perhaps flop under cover. Well, early they're sweeping from the offside, looking for some curl. He's got plenty of room by the guard. Gets to the nose of the stone, does remove it, but would have liked to get any kind of flop at all under cover. Stays fully open, and probably room now for Colton Flasch to get the roll under cover. Has to roll a little bit just to get into the rings anyway. So Colton Flasch with his first stone here in end number 3, leading 4-1. Well, would have liked to have gotten the hit and roll behind cover. Now they're just going to need to get some curl to make sure they remove that red stone. He'll get a piece of it. Not going to have enough to get it out of the rings. His shooter does stick around at the back of the 12-foot. So it's Flasch sitting one, but a chance for Aaron Sluchinski if he can hit and stay right there to at least get the force here in the third end and get last rock back. This has been the first real break for the Sluchinski team. Just a bit of a miscue from Colton Flasch. Don't think he overthrew that at all, but there has been a few rocks move a little differently down that path. Only a couple of them have curled. And if anything, Colton Flasch maybe a little positive on the release, so enough to hold it there for a while. Sluchinski with his final stone here in end number 3 just needs to stay in the rings. It'll be enough to make sure he sits 2. Colton Flasch will have to play for the single, opting to draw. I believe he was opting to draw. Calton's got the broom down like he's playing a hit. This would be the exact same draw that Colton threw for 4 in the first end. It looks like he did opt for the hit, just probably because he's facing 2. Now they're looking for some curl here. Does have to stay just about full 12, and there it moves at the end, comes right up to the nose. Colton Flasch with a nice hit and stick with his final stone, picks up the single point, restores the 4-point lead. Sluchinski will have last rock again in the 4th.
Stronger agronomics, better returns, greater peace of mind from pre-seed to post-harvest. You can count on the Victory Canola program to keep you and your farm ahead of the curve. Grow with us at victorycanola.com.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's going to make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in
stronger agronomics, better returns.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
That's questions about if our houses are painted or are they logo. Our events are always painted houses, but in the future coming out, I'm pretty sure we're going to be going to all logo houses. They're a great revenue source for any curling club. You can get your advertisements on there, and usually after the first year, the houses are paid for. It's all free money for you. So hopefully check Jet Ice out for your future in-house logo.
Hey, wake up! There's so much out there to see. Look up, look down. Quick, look over there. Look for a little trouble, but not too much. Open your eyes to something new every day. The hustle, the bustle, the calm, the serene. Maybe then you'll see that sometimes you have to go far to get a little closer. So wake up. The day is far from over. Seize the days.
Fourth end underway here. Flash team brought the first stone into the rings again. Corner guard was thrown up, and this is something we've seen from the Flash team at a few of the curling stadium events. They're one of the few teams that play the tick shot on the corner guard, push it into the rings. It's a shot you see pretty commonly in doubles play in the power play, or doubles, mixed doubles in the power play scenario. You don't see it as much in 4-player play. And Daniel Marsh makes that shot a lot. By pushing that stone into the rings, they'd be able to make a play on it on the next one. So Aaron Sluchinski asks for the corner guard on top of that stone. Has covered most of it. Kevin Marsh now in the axe, going to play basically close to the same shot. If you just get by the corner guard, you can make a play on shot rock, or pardon me, second shot rock, the one that's buried around the corner. And if you just rub it on the way by, push it into the rings, there'll be nothing covered. Oh, nice line call. Great job on the brush. They get it by. Removes that stone from the corner of the 12-foot. Now just the 2 stones in play. The shot stone biting the top of the 4-foot, belonging to Colton Flasch, and 1 corner guard belonging to Sluchinski. They're going to throw a corner up on the other side now. Nice job spreading those corner guards out and keeping it too flat for any likely double. I believe I've been joined now in the broadcast by Matt Sussman. Matt, are you there?
Hi, Sean. Yep, I'm here. Sorry I'm late.
I'd like to say you haven't missed much, but boy, have you. Colton Flasch. And I don't know whether you happen to see the earlier game. I happened to be on the call for the earlier game today. Picking up 4 in the first end this morning. Does the same thing again here in this evening's game. And really tough to come back from 4 points down. Aaron Sluchinski has been playing a little bit of desperation already from the second end, knowing that this Colton Flasch team is an excellent front-running team.
That is a tough hole. I think I've even called a game on Curling Stadium that started out with a 4-ender, and the other team came back and tied and didn't win. So it's not over, but certainly can feel that way a lot.
Well, if you're going to give up 4, I guess first end is the end to do it. Does give you plenty of time with the 4-rock free guard zone to come back, but the Flash team is one that they don't seem to stop putting the pressure on. They had all kinds of pressure on Sluchinski in the second end, end up getting the force.
Yeah,
Sluchinski did get the force back in 3, but
it's a tall order. I can certainly empathize. I think we've all been there. But yeah, there's still a decent setup here to possibly score 2.
Yeah,
but
you'd
it looks
like to
they're
get
going
your
to
2.
require a miss.
Well, I thought actually with the broom down, I thought they were coming around the corner guard. You're down to third stones now, and throwing another corner guard, like you're not getting 3 points with only 3 rocks left. So you almost needed to come around the corner there and hope for a bit of a miscue. And of course, Colton Flasch, knowing that he can't peel the rest of the end, now going to change gears on them a little bit, throw the center guard, and if they place this guard well enough, it could be a steal situation again. At the very least, potentially a force. And I just feel like Aaron Sluchinski might have thrown one too many corner guards there.
Yeah, it's always that cat and mouse game. You want to get in this other skip's head. That's part of the game too.
Well, they left him a little bit of room, didn't get the guard perfectly in line to the shot stone.
Yeah, just almost a half open. That's certainly there to hit and roll, probably stay on the tee line.
Looks like they're opting for the freeze. That's not a bad call either. You're down 4 here. Any rock that's in play is one you can use. You place the freeze well, and no matter what Colton Flasch does, you've got 2 corner guards that you could run in. Have to think the discussion from the hack end is whether we play the freeze or try to play the hit and roll.
Yeah, you miss the hit and roll, then your chance of scoring is diminished.
Yeah, the freeze is certainly you've got more control over the freeze. It's an easier shot. You're trying to make a perfect roll 4 feet away. It's not a high percentage shot. And this Flash team, if you leave them half, they're going to make that shot a lot. This freeze looking pretty good. Actually might even be able to get past the nose a little bit and get a shooter fully under cover. Well, a bit of a bonus there for the Sluchinski team. They did get past the nose, and you've put Colton Flasch into a situation here where he's drawing. Yes, he's still shot rock right now, but for Sluchinski, down 4, you need some rocks to work with, and if you've got Colton Flasch drawing, you know you're going to have one in the rings when you throw your next one. You do, as we pointed out before that shot, you've still got corner guards that could be run into that situation in the middle, possibly get your deuce. Nothing out of the brushers so far, waiting for it to curl. Starting to come now. Still got plenty of room by the guards. Would like to get a piece of that stone at least in front of that red. Now really starting to move. And does end up nicely in front of that red stone.
Yeah, good angle on that freeze too. It's certainly possible to score still for Sluchinski.
I think Aaron almost has to look at this angle raise on his first one. The nice thing for Aaron Sluchinski, it is possible with this one. If he runs it onto the stone that Colton just threw, coming from this side, he should get a little bit of drag on the second one, and he could move both yellows out and potentially leave both reds in behind cover. Doesn't have to whip it. It's not critical to kill both yellows. He'd like to kill the back one if he could. Definitely needs to move them out of the 8-foot.
Yeah, a little down weight's probably the prescription anyways, just so that run-in stone doesn't automatically fly out of there.
Not necessarily the shots you'd like to be playing, but this Sluchinski team is a good hitting team, and they put themselves in a situation here where, for the most part, they're going to be playing draws. This is going to be one of the rare chances he gets to throw a hit. He does have some angles in his favor here. If he can make the right contact on the guard, this looks a little thin. Catches the top of the yellow, but yeah, a little thin on the first one. The raised stone goes over the top, and when everything comes to rest, it's still Colton Flasch sitting 2. Sluchinski does have 2 in the rings, and there is a double available, but that third shot stone is wide open. Colton Flasch will look to make the hit, and his first indication is to roll over towards the middle. The only thing he's got to be careful is not to leave a triple.
Yeah, hitting nose is probably the right call.
Nose hit's not bad because there will be a double left on the other side, but you nose hit this. If Aaron Sluchinski makes the nose hit double, I'm not sure he's shot rock. So he may have to draw to score.
A bit of bad luck on that run in. I think he hit it where he wanted to, like you said, a little thin.
A little thin, yeah. He had to, rather than drive it over the top of that top stone, he had to put it right into that stone, and then it, wherever the rest of the stones end up is good, but you wanted to stick that first one in behind cover, and he just put it over the top just enough that it rolled all the way across. Colton Flasch with his final stone here in the 4th end. Makes the hit, does stay right there. And I do think Aaron Sluchinski is going to have to draw. Now they're looking at playing perhaps a hit and roll off the top one. Tough with any kind of a hit to get shot rock. You make the double and you might not be far enough in to make shot. And to play the hit and roll, you've got to roll a long ways to beat the one at the back of the 8-foot.
Yeah, you do your due diligence, see if it's there. It's not.
This was his pre-game draw to the button path, and it is the same path he threw for his draw to pick up 1 in the second. So he's got a good idea of the line here. He's had the weight. Didn't miss the button by much in his pre-game draw, but Colton Flasch absolutely circled it. Final stone on its way. Aaron Sluchinski drawing against 3 Colton Flasch counters. Needs to just about bite the 4-foot to pick up his single. Nothing out of the brushers so far. All by itself will come to rest. Just biting the back of the button, he picks up the single point. Aaron Sluchinski now trails by a score of 5-2. Colton Flasch will have last rock in the 5th.
We truly believe that this is an opportunity to partner within a sport that is emerging. It's getting stronger and stronger every year. And, the continued success of teams like yourselves really helps to elevate not only the sport, but also those companies that are involved with you.
We love being part of community events and community participation, everything from golf to hockey to curling to supporting teams like Team Flasch. It's right in our wheelhouse. And it's allowed us to grow our company significantly, which for positive reasons means we've got to grow our plant as well. So we are going into a large expansion on our current site, and we will be expanding the brewery's capacity, almost doubling it, and at the same time increasing our efficiency. So we'll be using less water, less energy to make the same great beer.
Five to two, Colton Flasch leading Aaron Sluchinski as we resume play here in the 5th end. 3 rocks already down at the far end. Sluchinski has played the 2 center guards already. Daniel Marsh with his first one comes around to the top of the 4-foot, now looking at playing a tick on the higher center guard. Makes the tick, does push it over to the edge of the 12-foot and rolls the shooter all the way out of play.
Hard to make a better tick than that. Whatever you think about the tick, they're still really fun to watch.
You know, it is such a skilled shot. I understand they're going to play it the no tick zone at the Worlds and as well as the Scotty and Briar, but I'd like to see them look at somehow or another making some changes to that rule. It is such a skill shot. I hate to see them take the skill shot out of the game. It is in play here, I believe, in the extra ends, but only in extra ends. And of course, now this is the 6th stone of the end. This is what we call a really hard tick. He doesn't care if this one leaves. He'd probably prefer it.
I was going to say, if they could ban any shot, it would be the double your own rocks accidentally. I'd be okay with them saying you have to put them all back if you do that.
Aaron Sluchinski looking to put that center guard back. Probably will continue to play this for a while. He will have a decision to make later on in the end. Daniel Marsh positioned his first stone so well, just nibbling the top of the 4-foot. And yeah, you could probably come right around it on this ice, but you'd still have to be back 4-foot to do it. And if you'd ever slid too deep, you wouldn't be shot. The other option for the Sluchinski team, and again, it's not really a great steal shot so much as it is perhaps a force shot. They're such good hitters. It's about a 7-foot run back, maybe to play the run back on your own. Problem is, if you don't make it perfectly, you leave the blank opportunity.
Yeah, not a lot of good options. I think shortening the game, shortening the end is really all you can do at this point. Give yourself even more time to think, fewer rocks to, accidentally put in the wrong place. Just, keep making the same shot for now.
At 3rd stones now, and he's opting to come around, sit on the corner of the yellow. You know, if you make this one good, Colton Flasch is going to make a play on the center guard. Line coming really nicely on this one. Actually going to have to go to get it by now. They had lifted for a moment. Boy, just gets by the front one and ends up dead frozen on the stone in the top of the button or top of the 4-foot, pardon me. And so Colton Flasch going to look to peel that center guard. And at the very least now, you have to think Aaron Sluchinski, with that excellent freeze there by Jeremy Hardy, may have the chance to at least get the force here.
Yeah, absolutely a shot you need to keep this thing going, as get a little bit of a break there, as didn't touch anything in the house.
Don't think they were looking to move anything in the house really at this point. You jam that, you're just going to kill your own stone. And for Colton Flasch, if you get forced to 1 here, that's not bad. Leave that stone at the top of the 4-foot and make Aaron Sluchinski make a play on it at some point in time. You're going to have a double after he does. So for now, Jeremy Hardy being asked to put the guard back. They expect, I'm sure, that Colton Flasch will peel it off again. You might, on Aaron Sluchinski's first one, try to freeze. If you could leave the 3 rocks in a line right on the top of the top of the 8-foot, what does Colton Flasch do? Colton Flasch knows that, thinking about not even peeling the guard, but that conversation didn't last long. Well, for Aaron Sluchinski, if he at least gets the force here, that puts him 4 down with 3 ends to play, but he does have last rock in the 6th. You need to get at least 2 in the 6th end in that scenario. Really cannot afford to have a blank end here.
So what are the options here? I think they're...
Well, the only option, yeah, I'm not sure what they're discussing. I don't know why you're not freezing again. If you freeze, no matter what Colton Flasch does, that middle red stone isn't going anywhere. And then you throw your last one, he's facing 2. He's not going to guard.
Looks like they're almost looking at separating the rocks right now.
Yeah, if you separate them, you leave them too much chance to blast.
Yeah.
But this looks interesting to me because if you're playing the freeze, you put the rock there in the first place with the other turn. Jeremy Hardy's freeze that is that red stone sitting at the top of the 8-foot was thrown with the in-turn. Now, unless Aaron just has a strong preference for the out, I'm not sure why you changed to the other side here. Brushers were on this one early. You cannot afford to be offline here. Offline gives them the chance to double the 2. Doing everything they can to hold the line here. Boy, great job by the Brushers. That one started to curl on him early. It does curl past a little bit, but with the drag effect, I don't think that middle stone's going very far.
Yeah. Just thinking back, you're talking about that other turn. The freeze was made the other way. It did almost wreck.
It did.
But yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. That's to have that long conversation just about the turn. But all the same, did the job.
Yeah, you've got Colton Flasch drawing, and here's the problem for Colton Flasch. You're going to draw here. If you're not second shot, it doesn't help you. And if you are second shot, you've left something that Aaron Sluchinski can probably hit and roll under off of. Yes, you might have a short run. It'll be a triple run, but that's still only going to be for 1. Because again, that middle red stone not going anywhere. So I think you're trying to, do you think trying to bury the edge of this stone?
Yeah, that might be a place.
You bury the edge of the stone. Aaron's probably got the run double. But if you don't bury the edge of the stone, he hits and rolls under. Which would you rather leave him?
Exactly. Because you want to score.
Yeah. Yeah, if you force him to go up and hit red onto yellow and clip the stone you're about to throw, he doesn't have anything in the 4-foot. Ends up coming to rest in the back of the 4-foot, and that's a stone that Aaron Sluchinski can freeze to.
Yeah, that wasn't quite the line that we were talking about. I don't know if that's where they wanted it, but
the line on that is, if you look at exactly where it stopped, that line is okay if you're in front of the tee line. If you're just full 4-foot at the top, he can't roll in under that, and it wouldn't have left him anything for the raised double.
Yeah.
But when you slide to the back of the 4-foot like that, it gives Aaron Sluchinski something he can freeze to, get shot rock, and certainly, even without a guard, you make this freeze, and a steal's not out of the question here. Now this is going to have to curl a lot. Still got a lot of room, and maybe a little strong as well. Comes down, nudges off that stone. Colton Flasch's first thought was to hit, but I'm not sure that he's not already sitting 2. Callan Schneider took a look at it. You certainly can't hurt yourself hitting it, but you did just throw the draw. If you happen to think you're...
It's like we got a mixed doubles end out of nowhere here.
Jeremy Hardy just marking up the fourth end. Is in club curling, that's one of those ones where you're thinking, I better get that point up there quick because I think we're about to give up 3 more. I want the scoreboard to look better when we shake hands. It's just been that kind of game for the Sluchinski team. They've just been a little bit off, especially with the draw weight. And Colton Flasch and his team hasn't missed anything. Now that one picked right out of his hand, and this is trouble. This is coming towards those 2 stones in the middle. Going to make contact now. What's going to happen out of this? He threw the nice quiet weight, so it just taps it up. So it will matter now who had second shot. It's close, but I do think it was Colton Flasch. We may see the measure. Now, Aaron Sluchinski kicks it off, so it is 2 points on the board for Colton Flasch, and handshakes. Colton Flasch making quick work of his 2 games today. Picks up the 7-2 win here over Aaron Sluchinski. He'll move on to play in an A qualifier tomorrow afternoon, 2 o'clock. Sluchinski dropping down to the B event. 16 teams began play, 8 looking to make the playoffs. Lots of opportunities yet. We will have all of the action for you here on the SaskTel Curling Stadium. 3 draws tomorrow, 10, 2, and 7. Same 3 draws on Sunday, and concluding with the semifinals and finals Monday morning. For myself, Sean Joyce, and my partner, Matt Sussman, we want to thank you for joining us here tonight, and stay with us for all the action all weekend here from Swift Current.
Saskatchewan, you know SaskTel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With SaskTel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. SaskTel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sastel.com/sponsorships.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.